Into an only animal stadium. The Colosseum is completely abandoned because nobody was really coming in here anymore. So in the Middle Ages, it's completely abandoned. That's why then they start sacking the Colosseum. They start bringing travertine marble off. They start bringing walls off. They start literally destroying it. For that reason, the tufa is then exposed. So plants started growing on the old bricks. This becomes like a park basically inside. That's when the animals started developing in the ancient Roman sites. In the Dark Ages, somebody transformed it into a fort for no real reason. They called it the Mangiapane family. To the point that in the 1800s, an archaeologist knowing and studying the history of the Colosseum wants to know why they transformed it into a fort. So he starts excavating down underneath it to try and find if there's any treasure or anything like that, sponsored by the Pope. He goes down there, stays days if not months, but when he comes back, he has no treasure in his hand. He goes up to the Pope and says, "Pope, I didn't find anything." And the Pope's like, why are you smiling then? He says, "Well, because I found out another treasure. I found out why the Colosseum is still standing. I told you that this area was completely swampy, foresty area, so it should have been wet soil, wet ground. A building this big should have moved, should have crashed, should have fallen on any sort of like earthquake or fire or anything like that. It still stands. It hasn't moved a centimeter. The reason why that is because the foundation system is extremely complicated. The foundation system is the exact replica of the Colosseum. 50 meters in height, you have 50 meters in depth. 194 meters, 144 meters, all replicated underneath. So basically there's another Colosseum underneath this one, so that's why it hasn't moved at all. That's like an extreme archaeological discovery done in the 1800s. In the Dark Ages, early Renaissance, this becomes sort of like the witchcraft kind of place to go to. You know, witches and priests are coming around here and doing some weird tricks and stuff like that. That makes this Colosseum sort of like the haunted place kind of thing. It is only actually with Mussolini, and the proof of that is that in your picture on the Colosseum, you have a picture of the Colosseum in the 1800s before Mussolini. When you realize that the Colosseum is with plants growing on it,